What a voice. It's so nice to have him in studio with us. Now, as part of Freedom Day celebrations, the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund, in collaboration with Constitution Hill, hosted the South African 20th Anniversary Youth Dialogues. The conversations were meant to engage youth in debates to freely articulate their perceptions and beliefs about what is going on in their environments and society in general. The focus was the upcoming elections. Tshepo Seloane of Efeng Baka and Nsako Makabela, who is from Miela, took part in the dialogues, and of course Petal Thring is from the Constitution Hill. They're in studio with us and we're going to have a quick chat to them. Good to have all of you. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you very much for having us.
All right, Petal, let's start off with you. How did this dialogue come about?
Thank you very much. We were approached by the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund. Of course, Constitution Hill has many educational programs. As a National Heritage Site, we have a very large educational program. And one of the things we do is dialogues with young people. Of course, we often say youth are the future, but of course they're also the present. And one of the key issues that we're both working on is encouraging young people to become active citizens in the campaign to strengthen democracy.
Yeah.
And so this was an interesting synergy both with the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund and Constitution Hill, and we were really looking at bringing together young people to look at how they can become more active in their communities.
Okay.
And the dialogues therefore were an important starting point to engage with youth on key issues related to 20 years of democracy, but also in terms of participating in strengthening democracy in future.
Let's speak to each one of you that are here today. First, Nsako from Miela. Tell us about your organization. What is it that you actually do?
Well, Miela is a youth-based organization, and what we do is we try to have young people see the instances of power that they have that they may not be aware of. So, for instance, a lot of young people would say we feel powerless because we're unemployed, we feel powerless because there's violence in our communities. But there are things that we can do right now without having to wait for government or other institutions to come in and fix our communities.
Yeah.
So, for instance, we started a tutoring program working with young graduates where we would say, so you're unemployed and you're a graduate, so you're skilled, but you don't have the job. But there's a lot of work to do.
Okay.
So we would get the graduates to go in and tutor and coach in schools in their communities that are struggling. So you are dealing with the issue of unemployment and you're dealing with the issue of children that are struggling in school. So we really try to say to young people, how can you find really simple solutions to the big challenges that you have around you? And also, how do we get young people to recognize when they have more of an ability to make a difference than what they think they can? And so part of the conversation has been part of creating a space for reflection, to be able to say, what do I take for granted about the world around me, and what is true and what is actually not true, and also based more on my sense of having no power around me.
Yeah.
So once you get talking to other young people, you can expand your world and begin to think in ways that can be more empowering to yourself.
Okay, all right, very, very interesting. Tshepo, let's talk about your contribution to the dialogue. What was it? How did it go for you?
My contribution was quite interesting. I was one of the panelists at the dialogue. And we were able to engage with young people who were there. We were able to hear what their thoughts were on freedom and on the upcoming elections, and just to engage with them on their level, to hear in their own words what they believe freedom is and what their anticipation is with the upcoming elections.
What is it? What is the feeling out there? I'd love to hear that, and I'm sure so would the viewers. The elections a week away, how are the youth feeling?
It's a mixed feeling. There is a lot of apathy on the one side. Young people don't see the leaders to be who they should be because it's like a one-night stand. We only see them every 5 years.
Yeah.
On the other hand, there's a lot of enthusiasm. Young people want to go out in their numbers to vote. There's just a little bit of confusion with who to really vote for because everyone is just so appealing at this point in time. But young people want to go out there and vote. On the other hand, there is some apathy, I must say.
Okay, so that it's a big balancing that the youth are feeling. Were you happy with the outcome of this dialogue?
Yes, I mean, our role really is to get youth to engage. The turnout was amazing. I think we were expecting about 60 to 80 young people. We had about 120.
Lovely.
And you know, and on a Monday after a public holiday, that was very great. But also it gave young people an opportunity to meet each other. I think often we keep away from people that we disagree with. Yes, there are disagreements, but part of our role is helping young people understand that they can disagree and still be friends. But above that, to also see that, yes, this is one part, you know, you engage with democracy through a vote, but you cannot stop there, that you need to continue to engage and get involved with your community, get involved in campaigns, get involved in educational processes, as the two, you know, panelists have already spoken about, making sure that we empower youth to continue to fight for, to strengthen our democracy.
I just want to give Nsako the last word before we have to wrap the interview. I know I need to hurry up here, but just in terms of the born-free generation, because that's what we're talking about in these elections, and that's it's almost exciting in this election. It's the youth that have been born into a democratic country for the very first time going out there and voting. Does it make a difference? I mean, are you finding that there is a little bit more excitement in the youth than perhaps previously, or is it again just I don't know, like you were saying, that one-night stand where I don't really know what to do. I'm a bit confused.
Yeah. No, I think the youth before actually had a very clear sense of what it was to not be free. So there was a lot of excitement about the electoral system. I think the born frees are more excited about what they're able to do right now with their lives, moving themselves forward. So the elections are part and parcel of a bigger process for them. And for a lot of them, whether or not they vote doesn't matter. But it's about, how am I changing my life right now? How am I making a difference to my immediate community, or to actually just my immediate situation? And so a lot of the born frees may not place as much importance on the ability to vote, but I think they place a lot of importance on their freedom. So it's not necessarily about the democratic process, but rather about the process of living a free life.
Yeah, yeah. Very interesting. It's going to be an interesting election. We can say that about these upcoming elections taking place on the 7th of May. Guys, thank you so much for being with us. Wish we had a little bit more time. In fact, I wish we were at the dialogue, because that's where the excitement would have really come through. My guests were Nsako Nkabela, who is from Miela, an organization, and also Tshepo Seloane, who was from Efeng Baka. And then, of course, from our Constitution Hill, we've got Petal Thring. And this, of course, organized by the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund, which is a great initiative. All right.